Tyler Allgeier is an Arizona Cardinal, 2 years, around $12 million. Hayden, when I saw this headline, I just quote tweeted and said, James Conner light. Is that fair as he joins James Conner in the Cardinals backfield?
He looks exactly like James Conner. He's just, like what, 10, 15 pounds lesser than, but they have a very similar playing style in general. I think James Conner may be a little bit better, well-rounded back, but Allgeier obviously way younger. And I do think it's going to be Allgeier as the 1A and then James Conner as definitely a distance 1B. And I think that the days of us trying to figure out Trey Benson are way, 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 way beyond. So this is Tyler Allgeier's backfield to lose. That's low-end starter money. It's pretty much the Jaylen Warren contract above Jordan Mason from last year, above Najee Harris on an annual basis. So not guaranteed starter, but I would say low-end starter.
Just looking at Tyler Allgeier's career so far, 4 years in Atlanta, his first season was actually his most productive. Obviously, he had the most carries at 210, went over 1,000 rushing yards. Then ever since then, 683 rushing yards, 644, and 514. With all that said, he did have 8 rushing scores this past season. And basically, you can combine the previous 3 years for 10 rushing scores. So overall, what type of a player is Tyler Allgeier? And why would the Cardinals make this move?
So Tyler Allgeier has a little bit of explosiveness, but I view him more as kind of a singles and doubles hitter. And his success rate, I think, is probably his best calling card. So career-wise, that's at 52%, which is actually an above average mark. That's like a starting level mark. And then last year, it was actually really crazy. Short yardage success rate, which is 3 yards or less to go. So a lot of goal line, but that can be third and 1 at the 50-yard line. He was 9th out of 44 running backs in short yard success rate at 65%. Bijan was at 39th, down at 49%. So behind the same exact offensive line, that was the one spot where Tyler Allgeier was actually grading better than Bijan Robinson. He's got a little bit of weight to him, so he can run through some arm tackles. I think he's like a decisive rusher as well, outside zone, going back to college. So I think that's his calling card. He's got a little bit more pace to him than James Conner does at this point, especially coming off of his injury. But I think for the most part, singles and doubles hitter, low-end starter, I think that's what he is.
Yeah, from a rushing standpoint, he's solid in just about every single skill. I don't know if he has a second gear to his game. His vision is very solid. Again, this was all evident coming out of BYU. And again, statistically, you could make the case that he's like a declining player from that. But if you actually, researched it, it would be because, 1, they added Bijan Robinson. 2, they added Bijan Robinson. 3, they added Bijan, all of that.
Yep.
But anecdotally, when you just think of week-to-week stuff and game-to-game with Tyler Allgeier in this Falcons rushing offense, when they got inside the 10-yard line, especially in the Arthur Smith days, that was Tyler Allgeier territory. He just runs over your face. And then when you got into the fourth quarter and the Falcons, maybe infrequently were up on the scoreboard by 10 points, 6 points, whatever it is, and you needed to string together these really long drives, Tyler Allgeier just runs over your face.
Yep.
I mean, he is a bowling ball. He is very, very difficult to tackle, and it's not fun to tackle him either. So you knew that when you were up on the scoreboard that Tyler Allgeier was coming in as the closer. Thankfully, he's going to be more than a closer, I think, in the Arizona Cardinals system. And I just think we're going to see extremely traditional type offense here with the Cardinals, with Jacoby Brissett possibly at quarterback. Then you have this side of a running game. And then at wide receiver, it's big bodies and Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then you have Trey McBride over the middle of the field as a tight end and then yards out of catch threat.
Yeah, I'm happy that Allgeier is going to get, the touches that he deserves. It's just really bad luck that Bijan Robinson goes to the team that he was on. But at the same time, we also have to realistic expectations for fantasy football purposes because of the state of this Cardinals organization. It's not just that they don't have a quarterback. They straight up don't have a right tackle on the roster. Their interior, guard center guard combo is really bad. They do have a left tackle. They've got other skill guys, but the offensive line is in really, really bad shape. And they were just churning out different running backs last year, and none of them were able to figure it out. I think that's largely because they have a very immobile quarterback and a really bad offensive line. And even if they have a new coaching staff in there to try to figure it out, I think this year it's going to be asking too much for Allgeier to be some super efficient running back. So I think he's going to be a volume-based RB3 in fantasy. And I think that there's some hopes if they can find the right quarterback that maybe he sneaks into RB2 land. But right now he's RB31 on Underdog. And I think that's about right for me.
Can we talk about Trey Benson's PR team? And I mean, Fantasy Football Twitter.
Yeah.
So this is the former 66th overall pick who in 2 seasons has 291 rushing yards. And this past year, 160 rushing yards, 1 rushing score, albeit this past year only played 4 games because in week 4 goes down with a knee injury, underwent arthroscopic meniscus surgery, hurt in October. Remember there was that period where everyone just assumed he would be back and then he just never returned the rest of the season? I've never been, and hand up, never been a Trey Benson guy. I think it's very evident that the Arizona Cardinals are also not Trey Benson people. Like whatever he brings to the table now, whatever he offers, it's just extra. It's just a bonus. To me, his vision has never been good. He stumbles, fumbles, bumbles when, the lanes are clogged up, and he just tries to bounce everything to the edge. Not to destroy the guy, but now you have, easy cut James Conner. They didn't. They wanted to bring him back. And then you add someone who's exactly the same type in Tyler Allgeier. So I just think we are in running back 3 land here for Trey Benson.
Yeah, Trey Benson's RB 40 on Underdog. James Conner is RB 44. Once again, James Conner will finish ahead of Trey Benson. Yeah, Trey Benson has no business being RB 40. I totally agree with your film takes on him. Last thing I did want to note here on my end was James Conner. He was scheduled to make $8 million this year. He took a pay cut the days before free agency. He just loves being an Arizona Cardinal. He's probably got a nice house in Scottsdale somewhere. We have not heard the exact details of the James Conner contract, probably because it wasn't pretty out there. So I'm guessing James Conner is making a lot less money than Allgeier. Allgeier is, 4 or 5 years younger than James Conner on top of it. So I think let's be very clear. Allgeier is the starter. James Conner's the trusted running back 2. And then whether it's Trey Benson's release or somebody else, a distant RB3 behind him.
Another interesting layer to this, the Cardinals are picking 3rd overall. I would assume both the signing and the restructure would take them out of the Jeremiah Love sweepstakes, so that at least puts him, in play at running back, or the 4th overall selection. So while we've seen, the Saints and the Chiefs at 8 and 9 take big swings in free agency, we just saw the same thing with pick 3. So again, in mock draft land, we are kind of closing in on the target. At least it feels like, of what Jeremiah Love and where he could go in round 1.
He's going to be a commander. I think that's 7th overall. I can see it.
Okay. Well, we'll have a mock draft later this week. And with all these free agency signings and trades during this window, we'll have reaction videos. So hit that subscribe button and we'll check you on the next one.